Hello, hello, my friends, and welcome to the Wake Up with Giants radio show. I am Lady Luck, and I am joined in studio here today with Ryan the Lion, and we are a solo act today. We
Whoa,
had
whoa.
someone.
I zoomed in on our faces.
Oh, you zoomed in on
I
my
can do
face.
this.
Oh goodness. Well, we had someone scheduled in with us today, and we were going to be talking about how to nurture the leader in you with our special guest today. And we've had to jig and jag a little bit, but we're going to still talk about nurturing the leader in you because we are just coming home from the most amazing weekend in Arizona. And I said to Ryan just earlier, it nurtured that weekend nurtured the leader in all of us and really taught us about how we are being. It was an incredible weekend, wasn't it, Ryan?
It was an absolutely spectacular weekend. I had all these things like how it was gonna play out in my head, and it did all those, and then
Mm-hmm.
way more than I could ever have thought of going down there. It was a pretty amazing experience, and my favorite parts, like just to give people context beforehand, is that. Like this wasn't our event. This was somebody else's event. This was the
Yeah.
the 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 ultimate experience, which is the ultimate coach, which is Steve Hardison and Judy and the gang of six put this thing together, and um, the like there was this group of people that just absolutely um, did an amazing job of figuring this event out, right? And somewhere along the way, I got tangled in there, um, roped into helping out with VIP bags and some different registration and stuff like that. There, hello, hello, and so it was a very interesting, like as it started to come together, just I don't know, the magic of it started happening, and we started saying, okay, hey, well, I wonder if we could get some of our league members to this event, right? And
Yeah.
the like getting Alyssa Ann and Melissa
Mm-hmm.
and then also um oh we had basically all of us there, right? Like I mean it was insane, but the planning of it, getting people in from other countries was pretty tough.
It
Once
was.
yeah,
But
once Alyssa started figuring it out, then we started sharing the information like
yeah.
crazy of how to get in. You know that process. So we had to get Melissa in as well. We're not going to
Yeah.
leave Melissa out. Tell us maybe like a little bit about your experience in getting to the event.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I'll say first is, gosh, talk about learning about a lesson in leadership. Um, there were several times there when I thought this just isn't going to happen. Several times where I thought this just isn't going to happen, and I reached out to Alyssa, and she was about a week ahead of me, about like a week in her planning, so a week ahead of me with this person on a call and the next person, and so I was kind of following in her footsteps. And there were several times there where I thought, no, this just isn't going to work, and I went and leaned on Alyssa and got the information from her. So Alyssa was such an incredible leader and an incredible savior for me in that process, because she guided me along as she was finding out the new information to move forward. And so it was about a 3 week process. I really worked hard for 3 weeks. I had to have a COVID test leaving Canada. And then I'm not vaccinated. So I had to have an exemption to be able to leave Canada and get into the United States. So my initial exemption was declined. I had to find another exemption, which I did do with Alyssa's help. And that exemption was accepted. I had to go through a whole acceptance process with the airline beforehand. And I had to have the flight booked before I was allowed to even start that process. So, but really, I started with my ticket. In November, I bought my ticket and I just put it out into the universe that I'm going to be there no matter what. It's going to happen. And I put that vibe out. And then I got the ticket at the beginning of January and started the whole process of getting that acceptance, getting out of the country and into the US. And Yeah, once my exemption was accepted by the airline, then it was smooth sailing after that. I got my COVID test, my negative COVID test to leave the country and get into the United States. We had to Shauna Lee, thank you very much, Shauna Lee. I'll shout out to you. Shauna Lee
Hmm.
picked me up from the airport on Saturday when I got in, and I got out of the country no problem once I had all my acceptance and my paperwork there. Um, um, Shauna Lee was a godsend on Saturday. She picked me up from the airport, and that girl was not going to give up. We went to 4 different drive-through places to find a COVID test so that I could get back home Monday because I needed to have that to get back home. And we just wanted to make sure that was in place, or else I wasn't going to be able to fly back home on Monday. And she took me to 4 different places to find a COVID test, and she wasn't giving up. I think that took us about 3 or 4 hours to get that done. And she drove me around everywhere and made sure that I had that test in my hand Saturday night. Thank goodness for her, because I was about to give up. I was like, nope, forget it. I'll just find it. It'll happen. I'll find it. And she's like, nope, you're getting this.
Shauna Lee's amazing. That was like just the right pairing, the right
Yeah,
person going. And now Shauna Lee almost didn't go either. Like she was
yeah,
concerned, like she didn't know how she was going to get there, how it was
yeah.
all going to work out. And I was like, no, Shauna Lee, like I prepaid for her ticket just to make sure
Okay.
that she could go.
Yeah,
And then she's like, okay, I'll pay back. It's cool. And I was like, yeah, no, that's fine. Like, don't worry. But you got to now you got to figure out the rest of the stuff.
yeah. The
So
rest
she
of it to
went,
get
yeah,
there.
she went through, found like her car. Now the first car she went through,
They canceled it.
they charged her card and never gave her a
Yeah,
confirmation, nothing. So she's like, ugh.
yeah.
She found an Airbnb. She found everything that she needed, relined it back up, and was able to go. She has a whole other story, which if you, I think it's
Oh my
on
gosh.
a Tribe of Giants. I think she put
I
it
think
there.
she posted
If
it in
not, it's
there.
in the Ultimate Coach Facebook group. So go there and watch her story of getting home
Getting home.
as
Yeah,
well.
it was incredible. Absolutely incredible. And she actually, before she even posted that on Facebook, I had talked to her and she relayed that story to me. And I was like, no way that happened. No way. It's like, it's a completely unbelievable, the story of her, of Shauna Lee getting home. Um, what an incredible leader. And Alyssa as well. It's a miracle that Alyssa was there. And I'll tell you, the best part of that weekend for me, the best part of that weekend for me was Saturday afternoon showing up and meeting all of the league in person for the first time.
Well,
That
and that's
was,
that's where I was getting with our story
yeah,
too. Like we got in a little bit before you,
yep, couple
and
hours.
we had to pick up Alyssa at her hotel because they were going to kick her out of the hotel. She had
Yeah,
the like a checkout. It was like 10:30 or 12 o'clock. Something she did the late checkout, so I think it's probably 12 o'clock. And so we got to the hotel and we actually started running into Sarah and Rich in the parking lot. Some other Giants that were there at the event, and so we're standing around just chatting them up because it's great to see Giants wherever we are.
yeah,
And Nicole is standing there getting impatient because Alyssa Ann is upstairs in this hotel, and she is like, we have not seen Alyssa Ann in person ever.
ever. Yeah.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, I look behind me and she's running. She was gone, and we're like, "Sorry, we gotta go." And everybody starts running through the hotel. She almost left us on the elevator. Like, luckily, I got it just as it was closing, and I'm like, "Wait for us!" She was not going to wait any longer. She's like,
Mm-mm.
"I've had enough of you guys just standing here talking." It was the funniest thing. And Nick, I want to introduce Nick for anyone on the radio show that doesn't know Nick Smith. He's the author of The Giants and the Smalls. He popped into here, which was perfect timing because this story involves him to the highest level. Because none of this would be happening if it wasn't for Nick and following his intuition and his inspiration to write The Giants and the Smalls. But we get up to the top floor, like the floor that we were supposed to be on, and ran down the
Hmm.
hallway and open up the door, and Alyssa comes pouring out, and oh my gosh, tears and snot and all the stuff, right?
Yeah,
It was the most beautiful moment. And then it was next. It's Melissa.
yeah.
Like we
And
have
I'm
to meet with
telling you,
Melissa.
Shauna Lee, God bless her. I love you to death, Shauna Lee, but I'll tell you that she misses exits everywhere. And so I'm like, we're following the GPS and we're missing an exit, and I'm dying here. Like, I've seen you guys on screen. I'm in her car. I'm picked up at the airport. and we did a video call, and so I see you guys. I know you're at the restaurant. We're headed to the restaurant, and we've missed an exit, and we're turning around again, and I'm dying in the seat, right? And then we get into the little mall where the restaurant is, and we're literally like, we're roadblocked. We have to take this big detour around to get to where the restaurant is. And I just wanted to jump out of the car and like run across this street, but we had to do this big detour. And in usual Melissa fashion, Nick, when I got out and told you guys what happened, Nick was like, yeah, that's totally Melissa. I literally get out of the car, and
awesome.
all I had to do was turn around, and there's the front door to the restaurant. But no, I go the other way, and I walk around the entire restaurant. I go past like 4 doors, and I'm like, where is the entrance to this restaurant?
She goes like the back side to the kitchen.
It was right behind
if there's a hard way, Melissa will find it.
She figured it out though. I mean, it's a way.
Yeah,
it was a way.
Yeah.
It was the hardest way.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I saw you out of the corner of my eye.
And I will never forget. I opened the restaurant door, and I got about 3 steps in, and I saw 4 giants rushing me. And there's Ryan right at the beginning, and he came up and just like didn't even stop, like just ran right into me, into a big hug, and we like came right out of the restaurant, and we're like walking back. I thought we were going to end up in the parking lot.
We might have.
He came at me so fiercely with this huge hug. I'll never forget it. It was amazing.
I didn't want to let go then either, but I knew that like, hey, okay, I can't take all the hugs right off the bat. I could see Nicole just like dying to hug you. It's like, okay, you gotta hug Nicole as well, because yeah, she was gonna explode if we didn't let her hug you.
Didn't it feel like a family reunion in a way? Like,
yeah, except for what
like
family that you like.
Home. Yeah, the family that you like. Right? Yeah,
the family that you like that you've never met before.
Not the forced kind that we went to as kids. Not that.
Yeah. It was absolutely incredible. And remember, I said in the restaurant, it was so surreal because for a year and a half we were behind screens, and that was our normal. And then all of a sudden we could actually like reach out and touch each other, and it almost felt wrong. Like it almost felt like
this isn't what happens.
This isn't
how we know each other.
No, yeah. I'm not supposed to be able to touch you.
They kept poking, we kept poking
3D
each other.
than I thought.
Yeah, right. Super 3D.
Yeah.
We kept touching each other.
You were way better like flat screen.
You were amazing. I'm not sure about this 3D experience.
But it was so funny because the whole weekend we just kept like, we would just touch each other on the arm, or we were grabbing each other's hands. And I remember on Sunday, right after the event, like right when we finished, Nick came to grab Alyssa and I to take pictures, and he just put his hand on my arm and then like slid it down and grabbed my hand and said, let's go for pictures. And I was talking to someone, and she said, oh, are you guys a couple? And I was like, oh God, no.
That's like my sister.
That's my sister. No,
yeah, I know. He's like my brother. I was like, no, we're business partners. He's like my brother. God, no, right?
Or start dry heaving.
I had somebody say that to me too. Like, and I'm like, yeah, that's like, no. That's like, no. It's my sister.
No, we just a lot
we're
of
close
love,
family.
But it was just because we were actually able to touch each other, right? So we were like holding hands and grabbing each other like that and touching each other.
It reminds me of like kids, like when kids see each other and they're friends, and they don't care.
Hi, friend.
You know, it's like it felt like that. You know, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome.
We ate some food, and then you had to go on an adventure there and get tested and whatnot, and that whole mess. Well, we went back and we actually had to go get our books from Steve Hardison's because we'd shipped them down the week before, and he actually sent us a picture with Alyssa Ann sitting on our books because she beat us to the event by a day or two. A day, right?
Yeah.
Said, yeah. So she's
Thursday.
Was it
Thursday? She was
yeah.
in.
So
yeah.
she said he sends a photo.
A day.
A day. Yeah.
A day, mate.
A day, mate.
You beat us by a day, mate.
Day.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe 2.
Yeah.
Haven't seen her since she's 14.
14. We're fitting.
Fitting.
We learned a lot of Australian while we were there.
Yeah.
Yes. A lot of Canadian too, you learned.
And some Canadian.
Yep.
Yeah.
Canadian.
Yeah.
Room to boot.
You know, I'm in the back office here
beg.
of our studio. And you know me, I see buttons that I want to push, and so I'll try not to, but I put up a new shout out button. So
Oh,
maybe sometime during the show we could try it out.
are you in that button, like right next to that button
I
right
could
now?
be if you got something you want to shout out.
I got a shout out. Let's do a shout out.
Let's do it.
Hit the button, Nick Smith. Yeah,
That was great, right?
am I professional?
What are we shouting out?
I'm shouting out our new minister of culture,
Yes.
Jen Walter. So we don't even know. So you got to hear the story behind this, because there's no pre-written job description to a minister of culture. I don't know if you knew that, but it didn't exist until Jen Walter came up to me at the end of the event. Actually, she's sitting at the bar with me, and I was eating fish and chips because I was like a little kid. I needed some food. And that's the closest thing to chicken nuggets that they had, so I was down for it. So I'm sitting there just shoving my face, and she goes, "I have to tell you something." Okay, what's going on? She's like, "I had a vision." Okay, this is cool. She's like, "I don't know what it is." Okay, she's like, "It just came to me that I need to be the minister of culture for the giants and the smalls." She just is like, mm-hmm. That was it. That was the whole conversation. And I was like, huh. Backing up a little bit, back to our story. Okay. We had to go get our books from Steve Hardison.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was people like swimming in the pool and hanging out. And I said, Nick, let's just go. It's only like 7 minutes away if you take the right exits. Shauna, you're not the only one that misses exits.
Turns out it's 14 minutes away when you miss the exit.
Yeah. Yeah. Or longer if you go
Yeah.
more. Yeah. So we finally make it to Steve Hardison's. We showed up at the wrong place, and then we went down another exit, and you could see his flag from the stoplight that we were at. We're like, that's it. Like, we knew it instantly. That's the canal. That's where Steve Hardison throws books and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some clients that don't listen into the canal, right? And
unverified, but
unverified.
yeah.
You probably won't find them because they're probably have cement shoes. But so we pull up, and well, at the exit that I missed, this is kind of funny, and this needs to be in there. I said, Steve, like, we're really close to your house, but I must have your address wrong. Could you send me your address? And he said, do not, under any circumstances, ever apply to be a professional Uber driver. You are the worst one that I've ever known. Loving you, be blessed, Steve Hardison. Oh, it's good to know, And me and Nick just sat there. We laughed. That's so Steve, we say, and laugh at each other.
He's going to send the address, right? Like, we're sitting there.
We sat there for like 5 or 6 minutes. And that's why it's 14 minutes away, is because you got to wait for him to, to send the address. You just got to sniff him out. I don't know. We sat there and never came through. So we start laughing. He's not sending the address, is he? And he's like, no, I don't think so. I'm like, I don't think he is either. And so then I had to message Alan Thompson and Alyssa Ann and say, hey, like, what is his freaking address? We found his house. And as we pull in, Steve Hardison is outside talking to his neighbor, who's the cutest old lady I've ever seen. And out of the corner of his eye, he sees us. Out of the corner of his eye, he sees us, and then just starts dancing. No shoes, just this kind of a dance, the wiggly dance that he does. And then he's like up on her, like on this old lady. He's like trying to get her to dance.
Got a walker.
Oh,
and she loves him to death.
Oh
She's
yeah,
like,
she's
like my grandchild.
Oh yeah. Like, there was no worries, no cares, no nothing. He didn't care. She didn't care. And we got I don't know. We got out of the car, and Steve shook our hand, thanked the lady, and said, "Hey, I got a surprise for you. Bring your car over and let's get these books. So as we're loading up the books, he says, there's some people in the backyard that I think that you'd be interested in talking to.
And he flew a flag for us.
Oh, yeah. And we look at the flag, and he's got the Utah flag flying high.
Oh,
And we're like, oh, thank you, Steve. We walk through the house and we walk in the backyard, and he's walking next to his pool. And I look down the way, and somebody's head turns and looks at me and then starts charging me, leaping and galloping like a lion. And there, this is the shout out, is Jen Walter and
Mhm.
Nora. They were like, Nora's so sweet and just amazing. She just
Yeah.
watches Jen just be Jen. And she I'm sure she probably was doing it inside, right, Nora? Like inside your head. But then you just let Jen do it. Jen just like raw, raw, and then jumps on me. And I've got the video right until she jumps, and then it went straight to hugs. And we hugged and hugged and hugged. And yeah, after the hug, we turned around and Steve says, "You want to see how much Nora and I love each other?" And I was, yeah. She said, "Ready, Nora?" And she jumps up and he catches her one armed. You know how he lifts people, two
Yeah.
arm. She's tiny,
Yeah, she is.
little, huh,
Yeah.
Nora?
Nora,
No,
I always thought I was
giant at
tiny.
heart, but just
I always thought I was
tiny.
tiny. Nora's tinier.
You let Jen be Jen. Yeah, I really thought. I think with camera angles, you make yourself look like you're like at least 5'8", 5'9". Seeing you in person, are you? I wouldn't even want to guess how tall you are.
I'm 5'3".
Yeah.
And Nora's tinier than me. Yeah. Yeah.
Tiny. But it was the coolest thing in the world to experience even more people that you haven't seen for ever in person, but you feel like you have this soul connection,
Yeah.
this love, and you've been watching them grow and be them for so long, that it was just absolutely, I don't know, some of the most beautiful moments that I think I've ever
Yeah.
been a part of in my life.
Me too.
From that point, then we took the books back, and then got ready, and we had to get to Gam Gam's house, which
Yes.
I need to tag Gam Gam here. Gam Gam's coming in hot here.
Yeah. Tag Gam Gam, and
Coming
of course,
back
I was fashionably late to Gam Gams.
Come back to this, because this will happen, naturally.
Yes, it
As a
will.
declaration, this is happening. So I don't know the clarification on how yet, but
But
as
it
a
will.
declaration, it is. So
Yep.
yeah.
We
It has already happened.
oh, I forgot one thing too. This is a very interesting story. In the airport, our first giant that tackled me, man, this guy, I'm sitting at the budget line, and we were trying to find our car and get that all situated. And there's this bench seat out front, and the rest of the group sits down and stands around
Mhm.
talking, and somewhere along that line, they ran into a giant. And so I'm sitting in the line, not knowing what's happening behind me. There he is, right there. And I'm just minding my own business, getting my car like ready, like I'm ready, I'm dedicated, I've got my phone, I got my confirmation, my back's turned, and I let my guard down for just a second, just enough to
Just a
to
tiny
have
one.
Alex he goes up underneath the barriers, and he sneaks up under, and then right before, you know how a lion will like "Rah," and just pounce? He does that. Meow.
Onto your back.
Straight onto my
It
back.
reminds me of Tigger on
Yeah,
Winnie
Tigger.
the Pooh,
It is.
right?
He was exactly like Tigger.
He pounced like Tigger.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
And the video of it, like we got, of course, they recorded it because they were like, yeah, we're getting this on camera. Recorded it, and the people in line, nobody's watching my 6, man. And then when it happens, they're like, do we call the police? Do we do anything? Nuh-uh. This guy's getting mugged. Oh well, nobody cared. But it was one of the sweetest things ever to run into Alex and his sweet family. Like,
Beautiful
talk
family.
about giants, right?
Yeah, all of them.
So that was one of the coolest things. And later that night, we went and hit Gam Gam's house up, and Nadine Larder, she did the right there. You can see in Alex's background, that's part of Steve Hardison's wall.
It is.
And she painted this. It's called the 1111 wall, and it's quite a ways long. It took her 5 months, I think, is what.
Yeah, and she said, imagine Steve Hardison coming out in Steve Hardison fashion, interrupting her every few minutes to do something, right?
Yeah.
To dance with her, to bring her food, to joke around, like just incredible. Yep. Sorry, Ryan, I'm tackling.
Oh no, you start talking and then I went into default like this.
I know,
then
that's
goes
what
into
we
my
do,
mode.
man.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see the 1111 wall in person. I'll have to go back to Arizona so that I can see it.
That'll have to be a
Yeah,
thing.
that's incredible.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
Good old Gam
pretty
Gam.
neat.
But I got to see Gam Gam's art, and it was absolutely incredible. She is the most talented artist I have ever seen. I need to own a piece of her artwork, more than a piece of her artwork. I need to own a lot of it.
She is one special, amazing person. She's Nick and I don't know. I'm assuming this is okay to tell Nick. So you left, so I'm doing it anyway.
What?
But the three of us have been, like we talk about creation a lot. So we put our three of us in a little group just so that we could talk about some different creations that we're working on. And Gam Gam, Nick and I and Gam Gam were listening to a Happy Pocket Full of Money, just on Audible.
Yeah.
And then talking about the things that we wanted to create. And Nick had put in a 5,000 things journal.
Mm-hmm.
And like a week later, maybe even the next day, Gam Gam has, coming from Amazon, she's already created.
Hold, please. We're gonna milk that thing, dude.
Am I unholding?
You're unholding.
There it is. That was the funny. Did you run and grab that in the middle of when you hit start?
Oh, I had it.
That would have been hilarious if you did. You like pause, hit the button, and go run and get it.
This is something new that we're gonna try on just because we love people. And you like the effects there, Alex? I got more.
Hold on.
I got more.
Wait, what? You got more effects?
Well, more effect. Well, not yet. I haven't plugged them in.
I was like, there's more. Huh.
This show's gonna go so off track, but I love this.
I know we're so off track right now, but
my hands are right here.
Oh my goodness! Yeah,
I
sure
didn't
they are.
do that.
Okay, now that you
What
played
the
that,
hell was that?
I am going to shout. Now that you played that, I'm going to shout out Nicole Castillo and Damon Carpenter and say happy birthday to the both of them today.
Man,
both of them are celebrating birthdays today.
Nice.
So, happy birthday to Nicole and Damon.
This is where our shows go.
Okay, but we're really not off track because we're talking
not really.
leadership. Today's show is about leadership and how to move into that leadership. And
so I'm going to dive back into that with that.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut you off, Melissa Ross.
Cut me off.
So talking about leadership, we had that conversation, Ryan, and literally within a week she had it printed. Like Gam Gam's one of those people that she talks about things, and the next thing you know, it's in your mailbox. like that's leadership. Like she doesn't tell you what it's like to be a leader. She just does things, and then you're welcome to come along, but it's not a force thing. One of the things I'm really learning and leaning on is Steve Hardison mentioned the idea of invitation versus obligation as a distinction, right? Gam Gam's one of those people that will create an invitation. If you can make it great, be a part of it. That's leadership. Yeah. Obligation is the other way is, well, I have this thing and you should do it. And then when you don't, then comes on the guilt and the shame and all these things that people throw in there, right? Well, was it an invitation or was it an obligation? And leadership is kind of that way too. When you're working with people, we've learned to work well together over time.
We hated each other at first.
Yeah, because I totally came from the obligation space. Like, hey, you need to do this because if you don't, I'm going to go home and cry big tears all night. And you guys didn't care. You were good. You're like, we'll sleep fine.
Like a baby.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, we did. We learned to work together though. That was the thing is like we had to get our differences out of the way. And there were some times where it was really frustrating, but all of this was an invitation, like inside of the League of Giants and the Giants and the Smalls. It's always been that, and then people start coming up to us now and offering things, like things we're not even looking for. They come up and offer those now, and now we get to have fun with, that actually would be pretty cool. A minister of culture? Why not? Why not? A TV show? Sure. Okay, let's do it. You know?
You know what I know about a minister of culture, though? The minister of culture is going to be exactly how Jen Walter is. And so if you follow and get to know Jen Walter, like, there's nobody that I know of that is more Jen Walter than Jen Walter. Like, she is so authentic to herself and the way of being. Like, I'll get messages. I tell this all the time. I'll get messages and they start out with this incredible laugh. It's amazing. I wish I could play it. I'll find one and play it, because it's the best thing in the world. It'll make your whole day just listening to that 7 or 8 seconds of laughter before she even gets to the message. She'll be like, oh my gosh.
It's
and
got
then
this
she'll go into the
cadence.
message.
It's ha 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 ha.
Yeah, I can't even do it.
It's got this cadence to it, and I
when
love
I'm
it.
with when I'm with her, I can do it. Like, it's just amazing.
Yeah,
absolutely amazing.
Lady Yoda.
Lady Yoda.
Yes.
Lady Yoda.
Oh, speaking of ladies, this is funny, and I'm going to share it here, because if I share it in the other space, the Ultimate Coach Facebook group, I don't want it to get out too fast. But I was talking to Judy, who put on who helped put on this whole thing, right? And Judy, did you know this is a fact? Okay, can I play the graphic again?
This one, if you want it.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so
we just
sorry.
Went to, we just lost half our viewers.
Actually, we went up.
Oh, Judy, are you here? Okay, so Judy confided in me that she's like, you know what? I don't know if I'm the person, for this, blah blah blah. And we start talking. I was like, heck yes, you are. She goes, yeah, I know. The gals in my group call me Lady Balls.
Oh my goodness.
And so that just said everything it needed to say. She does. She's amazing. Mm-hmm. So if you ever hashtag it, hashtag Ladyballs under Judy's stuff, and just throw it in there. You have to do it. Alex, I'm serious. Ladyballs.
I can imagine that, Alex. You're just in a conversation and then your phone goes off and this little bubble pops up.
Yeah.
Oh boy, this is going another direction.
Yeah. So anyway, back to Gam Gams.
Yes, back to Gam Gams.
We're at Gam Gams. Who was that?
We played a very clean board game.
That was an interesting time. Yes.
It was very clean and wholesome and down to earth, and it was just a wonderful, lovely board game. We didn't have any fun.
Zero fun. She's an amazing cook, though. If you have a chance to meet up with Gam Gam in Phoenix, Arizona, ever, and you just want to, you just reach out to her, tell her when you're going to be there, see if she's available to cook you up something.
Follow her TikToks.
Oh, yeah.
Follow her TikToks.
Yeah. Gamgam.kitchen. Gamgam crap.
She's got 75,000 subscribers on TikTok.
On TikTok, yeah. Is it Gam Gam's Kitchen? Gam Gam's Kitchen, maybe? Ryan will look it up. Yeah.
Kitchen. Yeah, I'll find it.
Oh, sorry, Rebecca.
Sorry, Rebecca. I'm so sorry that you saw that.
In advance. It's zero laughter. I need to get that game. Yeah.
I'm literally her new stalker. Heads up, Gam Gam.
Yeah, she's so good. So
food
good.
Her food was absolutely amazing,
she's
Nora.
Like the best, just
Gam Gam's Kitchen. Rebecca
host.
says Gam Gam's Kitchen.
Yes.
This is Schmaltzy.
Are
you sure? There's no name in there.
No, I know. When it
Schmaltzy, you have to give StreamYard permission to show your face.
Schmaltzy, are you a user?
I love Schmaltzy.
Schmaltzy?
Okay, so here's something interesting. Schmaltzy, And I'd do the shout out again, but then we'll waste another 13
I
seconds of
see
your life.
Melissa's face every time it goes
She's
on.
like,
Like,
oh dear God, no. Okay, we're not gonna play the graphic again. We could have in the time that I delayed, but
Yes.
Schmaltzy had popped into Tony Schmaltz had popped into the Ultimate Coach Facebook group and said, "Hey, look, I'm flying in a little early. If anyone wants to get together, we should do something." And I don't remember if I said something or he said something to me. Schmaltzy will know, but I said, "Hey, what if you're not doing anything? Why don't you come to Gam Gams? You know, it'd be great to meet up. I'd love to meet you. I've seen your engagement, you know, and stuff like that." I started watching his stuff, you know, like not inside the group, going, "Man, this dude's a great dude.
Hmm.
Like,
He
there's
is.
something about him, right?" And so, sure enough, him and his wife came over. You want to talk?
Annika, yes,
Yeah,
Annika.
you want to talk some of the most sincere, nice, welcoming people.
Aren't they
It was like
sweethearts?
right off the bat, I felt like he was a long lost brother, like I hadn't seen
Yeah.
in a long time.
didn't it
Yeah.
feel
And
like that with a lot of people?
like a
Like,
lot
it's
of people.
incredible.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of
Yep.
hugging. Like it was such a crowd
Too
of
much,
huggers.
probably.
Weird
Honestly.
amounts of
It
hugging.
was weird,
Like,
Yeah.
but
especially
isn't
when I
that
like
incredible?
Copious.
You're like
slid my hands down Schmaltzy's. No, just
right.
kidding.
No, but it was just incredible to be in that atmosphere of all those people in that energy, in that loving energy, right?
Yeah.
And just like literally, I've never met Tony or Annika in real life either, and just know them sparingly on Facebook. But same thing, hugging, and it's so wonderful to see you. And they're such beautiful people, absolutely beautiful people. I got to speak with them a little bit at the dinner Sunday night too.
They were loving and gracious and some of the best people that I've met. And the cool thing is,
I got to hug this dude in Yuma.
oh,
He
that's
brought me-
Oh,
sure,
brought me
rub
there.
one
it in,
day.
rub
One
it
day.
in.
Oh
We
my
need-
goodness. Okay. I'm going to tell a story about split pea soup. I know we joke about split pea soup, but I actually love soup, and split pea is one of my favorite soups. And yeah, and so so we met a lot of people over the weekend, and one person in particular has been making fun about my no dairy, gluten-free, vegetarian, yada yada lifestyle. And so he's been asking me a few days, okay, I need a good laugh. What did you eat for dinner tonight? Right. And coincidentally, I ate split pea soup
No
last
way.
night for dinner.
Really?
I did. I ate
We
split
need
pea
a
soup for
Giants and
dinner.
Smalls brand split pea
Oh,
soup.
split pea
Right,
soup.
Hugh?
So I ate it last night for dinner, and he laughed so hard, and he said, "Do you need me to send you some money so you can eat a real dinner?"
Look at Rebecca. That's what it does to you.
Yes,
Rebecca.
that's what it does to you.
That is an accurate drawing.
That is an accurate drawing.
You can play the
yes.
game.
She could play the game. Yep. Yep. But yeah, I was laughed at for eating split pea
What's
soup.
up, Matt? This guy's another incredible dude. He wants to steal one of these things from us. Guy's a thief, Matt.
You
Evans.
guys, and that
hat
just
thief.
reminded me, I didn't steal one from you over the weekend. I was going to steal one of your hats.
I know we always have them,
and I didn't steal one over the weekend.
I mean, you can call it stealing, but we're just, Matt, we're just giving it to you. But that, I know that takes the fun out of it. But
it does. It would have been more fun to steal it, like off your head.
Right?
Yeah.
We had them there.
Right? Matt wants a hat.
Too.
We'll get you one, Matt. It'll make its way to London.
Yes.
I'm
You
not
know what's
a
cool
thief.
about London
I'm not a
too? We
thief. I
had
just borrow the ones I admire. We have some admirable hats, no doubt.
Yeah, we did.
What time is it where you're at, Matt? Are you in the UK right now? We got Mancheri in India. Matt's in the UK. Rebecca's in Australia.
Got our Canadians.
And then we got Hugh and Yuma.
Hugh and Yuma. Yeah.
Amazing.
It's probably really warm and nice down in Yuma. Yuma, Arizona. Gee.
Oh my gosh, you have to be cut off.
Lay off the button
Nick
already.
I know
No,
Nick has to be cut off.
I'm just kidding. I just made it.
Do it.
I threw him under the bus.
Okay.
Here's the shout out. I got one. I got a real one.
It's
the giant Fiona Ross.
Yes.
Straight out of
Yes,
London.
my sister from another mister.
You have a sister from another mister too?
Fiona Ross.
Fiona Ross, the Fiona Ross. You know what's cool? 3 a.m. Dude, bro, thank
Yeah.
you.
Oh,
Right.
Thanks for
thank you
hopping
for
on.
watching.
Damn
Yeah.
it. He says out there.
Yeah, thanks for watching at 3 a.m.
Yeah,
Goodness.
thanks, buddy. The cool thing is so like there we have giants, a decent amount of them over across the pond, and so Fiona Ross is going to help a little bit with that London event, and
Yeah.
Marina Lazarus, right, as well. And I don't know who else.
I
Matt,
will be there. I will be there
you're
for
going.
sure.
Like
Yeah,
me and
for
Nick want to
sure.
go, so
Is
we'll
there any
figure it out.
question? Is there any question about not being there? Of course
I
we're going
don't
to be
know
there.
that there is.
There's
You know
not.
where else we're gonna go? Florida for the Schmaltzy event, the Be
Yes.
Schmaltzy-a-thon.
Yes, I talked to Tony about that on Sunday night too. Yep.
What are good names? He hasn't come up with the exact name for his event. What would we call that?
For schmaltzies?
Yeah, the Schmaltzy experience.
Schmaltzy pants.
I like that, the schmaltzy experience. I like that.
It's gonna be an experience.
Schmaltzy pants, dancy pants.
Yes.
Event.
Schmaltzy pants.
We could-
I like that. No dancy pants, just
We'll-
schmaltzy pants.
Schmaltzy
It'll
Yes, he
pants.
says. It's all about being schmaltzy, which I learned is the schmaltzy is a real thing. It's just
is.
like cheesy,
Yep.
cheesy, corny
Yeah.
way of being, right?
Is
And
it?
he had, oh yeah, he would pick up on. He
Yeah.
told me the story. He would pick up on girls, in German, and it was really cheesy, his lines, and they started calling him schmaltzy. Well, he thought it was just because it was a play on his last name.
No, it's actually a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So schmaltzy is the real deal.
Yeah. But that means, like, I just
but-
saw Nora put the ultimate schmaltzy experience. That means it would be like corny. The event would be really corny.
Schmaltzyville. There you go.
Yeah.
Schmaltzyville 2022.
Oh, yes, that'll be an incredible event. Yeah, and actually I told Tony that I would love to be involved in that one too.
So here's another thing we're going to do in February. We're going to go do the Johnny Appleseed tour. And
What
there's
is the
things-
Johnny Appleseed tour?
Johnny Appleseed tour is us getting in a car and going out by Pixar Studios and handing out books, kind of like Johnny Appleseed style, planting seeds for the movie.
Yes.
And so we've got some things that we're going to pass along for people to tag. What was it called? Like flat something.
Stanley. So
No,
I don't know if your
Stanley.
kids have
Something
ever
like
done
that.
Flat Stanley. If Google Flat Stanley,
Oh,
you take Flat
yeah.
Stanley all over the world, take pictures.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have these PDFs of Remy and Rit that you can cut out and then take pictures anywhere in the world with Remy and Rit
I love that.
and then tag it.
We did that for my my stepdad's 70th birthday, and the Flat Stanley, we put his face on the Flat Stanley, and we took it absolutely everywhere.
Amazing.
Everywhere. And we made a whole album for him of everybody in all different places with him as Flat Stanley.
It's going to be
Smashing sand
pronounced
with the schmaltzy.
smashing shand. Smashing shand with the
You got to do it with a CH.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's 9:47, so I'm gonna make us get serious for a minute and come back to
Oh,
our
Mom.
I know. I'm such a I'm a
Play the
suck,
graphic.
right? Goodness me, don't play that graphic. Okay, I'm gonna come there and well, I'm just gonna stop there.
It's way overused
so
already, but I like it.
Way
I'm gonna-
overused.
I'm going to call out our leaders then. I'm going to call out some leaders right now because we are talking about leadership today, and we're talking about moving into leadership. And I think that there were so many incredible leaders at that event over the weekend, and so many incredible people that grew into leaders over the weekend. So I want to call out all of the amazing speakers that were on stage this past weekend. The speeches were incredible. The heart-centeredness was incredible. The messages were incredible. Everybody was so inspiring. And in particular, our own Nick and Ryan both got up and spoke. And
Thank
Nick
you.
has spoken before, and we all know the presence that Nick has on stage and the message that he has, and we all know his incredible writing from his book. But I want to call out specifically Ryan, because Ryan stepped into his leadership and in his being this weekend. And it was the most incredible thing to witness.
It was
Absolutely.
awesome.
It was amazing. He did an amazing job, and he really was truly himself, truly Ryan, and stepped into huge leadership on the weekend on stage at this incredible event.
I picture Alex going like this though.
You know what? And we'll shout out Alex too, because Alex was the MC this weekend, and
Alex did amazing.
Man,
yeah,
he did amazing. Like sometimes it's
He's
hard
not invited
to
do that again. I'm not going.
Well, sometimes it's hard to command a room like that. You've got 300 people in a room, and it's hard to keep everybody's attention and keep things going and keep it flowing. And Alex did an incredible job this weekend.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
It
was amazing.
It was if you haven't had a chance to watch it, it's still up in the Ultimate Coach Facebook group. You can go inside of there, join the group, and you can watch the event. There's several different recordings. I think they'll get a professional recording done that they had with the cameras and stuff. But thank you, Lori. There was a little bit of audio issues, from the Facebook Live portion, but you just have to work through them. At least you got to see it. Like they weren't even going to stream it. Yeah. Then at the last minute, they got permission to stream that.
Tony.
Oh, you're killing me, bro. I got up on stage for mine, and my favorite part, was I didn't know that Steve would get as emotional as I did. I got pretty emotional about the red boat, and afterwards it was nice he sent me some pictures of that red boat sitting in his office. But if you haven't read the Ultimate Coach book, the Book of Being, go get the Ultimate Coach by Amy Hardison and Alan Thompson, and read that. And somewhere along the first quarter of the book, you'll read the story of Steve Hardison and his red boat.
Yes. Yeah.
That was
incredible book.
This is one of my favorite comments. From YouTube. Thanks, you.
YouTube. Yeah.
YouTube viewer Vom Red, whatever that is.
Solid.
Yeah, thank you. We love you. We won't block you, I promise.
Yes. I already blocked them.
Maybe it means something. Or they're like, you guys are rad, and we
maybe that's no. Like, maybe Vom means man. Boat.
Did you
maybe
know
that means red boat?
I can put people in timeout on StreamYard. So
no,
Alex, you're almost in a timeout here. One more of those.
One more.
Just kidding.
I see it over here. That's crazy.
No, Hugh. They're not going down the canal.
That would be Steve Hardison, though.
It would be.
Probably would see if it would float and see how far it would go.
Yeah.
He would tie a book to it or something.
Yeah.
Make a contest out of it. It takes two to tango.
There was a lot of leadership.
I probably should block myself too.
Eric Thurston on the back end that maybe not get recognized as much on the front end, but man, the whole back end of that, he was the one doing the live streaming. I captured a picture of him doing the live stream. He was pretty stoked because they don't often get photographed,
Yeah.
And so just everybody on the back end, the MCs, is beautiful.
I want to huge shout out too to Eric Lofholm. So
you
want to talk about a group that Eric has taken on, the Facebook group, that Ultimate Coach Facebook group, and that's not an easy thing to manage. And there's other people that are probably administrators or moderators to help a little bit with that, but he put in a 20-year commitment to watch and manage that group and help it to grow and to serve other people, and that's the goal. What we found is that that didn't exist when we started this, and this book, like the giant in the Giants and the Smalls, is Steve Hardison. Like literally, that was what it was based around.
Yeah.
And so we were driving, I think on our way to the airport, Nick, right? And
it's usually what you do.
Yeah. Drive. We didn't walk, or
you get me. Yeah,
I get you, bro.
Anyway,
so there we were driving to the airport, and we were talking about the Book of Being and how cool it was too that the kids that had the books and how much of a difference it made, and loving on Portia's kids, right, that were at the event, and Alex's kids, and any other kid that was at that event. Like it was so fun to hand them a book and tell them they were giant, and that how amazing their parents were, and to listen to love their parents. and it came to me instantly. Like, you have the adult book of being, which is the ultimate coach book, and then hashtag kids book of being, was the giants and the smalls.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can we shout out to the Dumas kids, AJ and Juliana?
Freaking
Only if we do this first.
Oh, it stopped.
It stopped.
Oh, no.
I feel like musical chairs.
AJ and Juliana. Oh my gosh. What incredible kids.
Hi, Nick.
Incredible kids.
Look, we gave it a rating system, really. It's the giants and the smalls of the PG version.
Yes.
And rated R
is the coach is rated R.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, Alex Dumas. Like, well, that means that Alex Dumas let Juliana, his 10-year-old, read the R-rated version.
That's hardcore, Alex.
That is hardcore.
Solid parenting there. I'm just kidding. That's a great idea.
Truly, my kids wouldn't slow down enough to read it, so that was amazing.
No, but my daughter might. I may try that.
My kids can read.
Yeah, my daughter might do that.
These comments are coming so fast. Like, I don't know how you
11.
keep up with it.
Yes, she's 11. I'm sorry. Avery is 10. Juliana is 11. Yes.
Alex Dumas.
Yes.
Well, keep going. You guys are doing great.
You guys are doing great.
Oh,
we're almost to the end of the show. We only have
we actually keep going up in viewers too. So the longer we go, by the end of this, we'll be over 100 viewers.
I know, right?
All of a sudden,
right. Well, okay.
Schmaltzy's at home going.
Let me finish shouting out the. Oh my God! Yeah. Let me finish shouting out the Dumas kids. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
AJ, little AJ. Oh my goodness. Saturday night, I walk into Gam Gams and I'm late, right? Everybody else is finished eating. I walk into Gam Gams and he greets me with, "The great Alex Dumas is here. Would you like me to show you where he is?" And he escorted me right into the kitchen and brought me right to Alex.
There he is.
It was absolutely incredible. Yeah, there he is right there. He is just a giant, that little guy. What is he, 6, Alex?
Alex, you know what's interesting is that kid absolutely idolizes you.
Oh,
he said multiple times to me, Ryan, did you know my dad's famous?
Yeah.
Well, heck yes, he is, buddy. He is famous. He's famous.
Yeah. He's a giant, that kid.
He is.
He's got a giant dad.
AJ and Juliana, both of them. They are giants.
Oh, that got me teared up a little bit. Should we play the graphic again? No.
Oh, stop it.
Oh, we got more. We got more videos to come. I mean, yeah. But that's funny, huh?
I haven't even had a chance to post very much on the event. Like, there's so many posts that I want to post about different people and the pictures that I took. It was just so hard to do. I've got a picture of Gabby and Nicole, and they're holding each other, just embraced in this love. It's unreal. And to be able to hug Gabby and Mark, right? Yeah. And just some of the most genuine, loving people I've ever met, ever.
I want to point something out. This is what just occurred in this whole episode. Part of leadership is acknowledgement, right? And acknowledgement, I know that people they'll work harder or fight harder for acknowledgement than they will for money a lot of times. Appreciation, right? And just taking a moment as a leader to express that appreciation, that acknowledgement for people, it goes so far. Like, we're not leaders in that company necessarily or that event, but we can acknowledge people still. It's the same. It's a modeling of it. It's powerful. So if you're not using it, use it, because it's worth more than money in a lot of cases. People will fight for it.
Absolutely. And a couple of my favorite parts of the weekend were a couple of acknowledgments that I got, and like, I can't even tell you, it was absolutely incredible. I actually had someone, I was speaking with her about Storytime Yoga, and about what it would do for her kids. And she had her kids do storytime yoga at their local library. And we talked about how storytime yoga was different. And Alex, we talked about how storytime yoga was different. And, she said to me, do you coach with Steve Hardison? And I said, no, I don't. And I said, why? And she said, you embody him. And that was the best compliment that anybody could ever give me. Her saying that I embodied Steve and who he is and how he presents himself. And, I had somebody else, I was describing Storytime Yoga, and he cried when I told him what Storytime Yoga was about. And he asked if he could acknowledge me. And the acknowledgement that he gave me was so beautiful. It made me cry. It was just one of the most beautiful moments. And so I agree with you that acknowledgement is just so much more important sometimes than money.
Every time I see Matt Evans, I want to hide my hats.
Hide them. Yeah. Watch your hats, people.
I'm gonna double up on hats, so when he steals it, I got 3 more underneath.
Yeah.
Like,
isn't Matt running the UK event? Who is it that's running the UK event? Is it Matt?
That, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Matt?
Is that right?
I don't know. I'm just.
Matt, are you there? Are you doing
Matt,
it?
Are you running that, Matt? It's 3 a.m., Matt. It's almost 4 now.
Matt Smith is going to be there doing that, right?
He's part of the team, so
yeah. Because Matt Evans,
yeah.
Matt Smith, Marina, Fiona. I don't know. There's probably more that I'm missing, like right off the bat, that are immediately probably the MC.
Oh, excellent!
That's awesome. Yeah.
Awesome.
We'll tag Matt Smith in this too.
Marina,
Matt, you get to see.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Matt Smith. Yep.
What an event that's going to be as well. Is Steve coming out for that? Do we know if Steve's going to make it to or is it just lots of people being? That's a good question.
I hope Steve will make it out for that.
Well, I think, what did he serve his mission in London, in England?
Yeah.
So there you go. Well,
so many tears.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, seriously. I feel
tears when we were leaving. It was so hard to leave. So hard to leave.
Well, hey, here's the good news. Is tonight on this show, we've only got a couple more minutes and we're going to leave for real. The reason why we're going to leave for real is because coming right behind this at 8:30, we have another show.
Yep.
And so it's our 111th episode. And so that's going to be amazing. That's going to be featuring Donna Grover, who has a show on our network, Magic Mondays, right? It's going to be a solid show. So we'll go in and explore her journey, and I'm sure she'll talk about a little bit about this weekend too. And we'll have a bunch of you on. I had committed Tony to be on the show, and Matt, we need to. What the heck, bro? Let's get you on. We'll send you a hat. Hey, we'll send you a hat.
Not from the comments section. That's not what we mean. We mean literally have you on as a guest.
On the show.
I think we're booked out. Natalie was telling me today that we're booked out till May, early May. So,
what are you doing? What are you doing in May or June or?
Yeah.
July?
Get on there and get it scheduled before it fills up.
I'll send out the invites.
Absolutely. Yeah, send out the invites, and I'll get some radio invites out too.
That'd be awesome.
Oh, I love the impromptu episode. Do it. It's fine. Alex has a show, Train of Thought.
And he's doing an impromptu episode tomorrow morning. Is that what he's saying?
Sounds perfect. I'm in.
I'm waiting for my invitation, Alex Dumas.
Yeah, Alex. What the heck? We have an extrovert. We have 3 of them on this show.
Yes.
Yeah. Our extrovert.
3 extroverts.
Sticking with one time a month. You're not going to be pulled into doing weekly, bi-weekly. Well, no, there's no pulling. There's no pulling.
Nobody's pulling. Whatever you like, Alex. But we're still waiting for our invitations to be guests.
2026.
That's a different show, dude.
Yeah.
That's a different show.
Is that part of the No Shirt Gang?
It might be.
I will not be part of the No Shirt Gang on your show, Mr. Dumas.
Well, that was awesome. Alex Dumas.
Well,
Giants.
Yes.
Yeah. It was
Ryan
beautiful.
said, "Well, I'm
That
waiting
was
for
it.
the
I
next
just said
part of
that.
that."
Yeah, let's each fill in
Hold
a
you
word.
there. Look in
Let's
my
do
cup.
that. Well, Giants. Okay, your turn, Melissa.
Yeah.
One word.
You're
I
the
can't
adult.
follow that. I can't follow that.
No, you just say like I, and then Ryan will say the next.
Oh goodness.
That'll be crazy.
Okay, we don't have to.
We don't
We'll
have
do
to
it another
that,
time.
no.
Another
We
show.
love
guys.
you. That was the coolest experience that I've been a part of in a very,
It was.
very, very
Incredible,
long
yeah.
time. And so thanks to all those who participated and who have supported us through the tribe and all that you've done. Because we felt you, even though some of you couldn't be there. We really felt you, and we can't wait till we meet each and every one of you in person. Paula, there's one. Give you a big giant hug, Carrie.
Yes. Yeah.
Just that's how it has to be. So
We need
we're
more
coming
time
for you.
next time. 2 days was not enough
Yeah,
to
not enough time.
me. I mean, I literally was on the flight Monday going home, messaging people saying I saw you, but I never got to come and speak with you.
Yeah,
And
yeah, there
I'm
were a
so
lot.
sorry, right? There were so many
Yeah.
people, and I'm
Dr.
so
Will
sorry I didn't
Moreland.
get to speak with you.
Will,
Right?
I
I looked
have a
for
picture
him.
with Dr. Will.
I looked for
And
Dr. Will and couldn't find him. I knew
I
he
know,
was
I couldn't
there.
either.
I'm tagging him because Will, I need that picture, bro. The best dressed man in the room, Dr. Will Moreland, always. He's got a shoe collection that's out of this world. So, yeah, it was nice to see him there.
Excellent.
Anyone
Sweet.
else? Good.
No, I'm
right.
good. I feel complete.
I feel complete too.
Love you guys. Thanks for being a part of this. Thanks for being a part of our journey. I think that is one thing I would say is just we wouldn't be here without you. Like we do our part over here, but man, you guys have been loyal, commenting, sharing, posting, like so much that we don't even see. We're grateful for you. Just this message was brought to you by Split Pea Soup Progresso. Make sure you get yours today.
You just had to make sure you were doing a shout out to the tribe, and I'm like, yeah,
Gosh,
this
dang
is
it.
perfect.
Shout out to the tribe. You guys are
Love you.
amazing. All right, guys, have a good night.
Love
We
you
will see you
too.
in the next episode.
Good night, everyone.
Who's got the end button?
Me, I'm in control. Bye. Hey,
Bye.
be schmaltz.